going on? As you can see from the opening footage, Chris and I are on a little road trip for the May long week, and usually the May long weekend, but we're going to take the whole week off, so it's now the May long week for us. And we just made it past the long weekend yesterday, so it was very busy yesterday. We're up in the Muskoka area, and right now we're in Huntsville. And now that everybody's gone back to work, it's quite reasonable out there for us to go walk the dogs and hang out for the day. And we were just walking our dogs downtown Huntsville from the opening sequence, as you can see. And Chris and I saw a few shops that we kind of wanted to go check out. So we're going to leave the dogs and go do some shopping. We don't ever shop on our trips.
Never, but I saw a chocolate shop.
No, fair enough. And I wanted to address traveling with your dog. I've done this in a bunch of videos, but there's something new I wanted to talk about. And the long and short of it is we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to climate control this van so that when we travel, if we need to leave the dogs for an hour or 2 hours to do something, go into a theme park, go shopping, whatever, then we've got to be able to make sure that the dogs are safe in here. And today it's gorgeous. It's the end of May and it's about 16, 17 degrees out right now, I would say. And in the van, it's sitting at about 22 degrees with the windows and doors open. Now, once we close everything up, we can open up the windows and we can turn on this roof fan. And that'll do well up to about 18, I'd say 19 degrees at the most. That'll keep the van in the mid 20s, like 25 degrees in here, maybe 26, which is still, it's getting pretty warm, but it's okay. At that cusp, there's no question in a van like this or an RV, you got to run an air conditioner. There's nothing else. Nothing, right? Like there's no other way. Even with the doors open at like 23, say outside, 24, it's still hot in here. It's a steel box, right? So you need an air conditioner, and we have an air conditioner. We have one right here. And that's great, but you have to be plugged into something. And we have spent a lot of money trying to plug that thing into something else so that it would work. And first we did a standalone generator, and we used to lock it under the van. But one time we came back and somebody had turned off the generator, or maybe it failed. So that was very scary. And then we switched from, because we thought somebody had turned it off, I built a generator box and mounted that on a trailer hitch on the back of the van. And then we could lock the generator inside of this generator box, and it also helped to soundproof it. And that worked great, but it made the van a lot longer, like uncomfortably long. So you started to feel uncomfortable in busy areas. It was really difficult to find parking because we added so much extra on to have this box where the generator was. And then I bought a battery, big battery bank down there, and that didn't work. Wasn't quite powerful enough.
And that was expensive. Yep,
that was expensive. It's now what powers our laptops. And then finally, last year, a company called Bluetti put out the AC300, which is their battery designed to run an air conditioner, and it works great. We get about 6 hours off of a single charge on this battery, which is enormous when you think of the draw of your average like window air conditioner, which is what we've got here. We can charge it up at night, so when I'm doing dog training, I can just come home if I've needed to use it throughout the day to keep the dogs cool. I come home, I charge the battery back up, and I have a full day of air conditioning again. Out here, though, we're just dry camping this week, meaning we're just kind of crashing in Walmart parking lots as we make our way across Muskoka area and all the way out to Pembroke. And if we use the AC for 2 hours today, that means we have like 4 hours of AC left for the entire trip because there's no way for us to charge it back up. So we make that work, and it has worked well. But my concern has always been that something in the system goes wrong. The AC fails. I'm a worrier. What can I say? Right? Battery dies. Something goes wrong, and we don't know it, and we're out. And then after a bunch of research, I found this. I found MarCell. Say hello, MarCell. Bonjour. He is French.
MarCell is French. Français.
So MarCell is just simply a remote temperature sensor. So the way it works is you pay for this unit, which is a couple $100, and then there's a subscription fee, which is also a couple $100 for a year. And it uses cellular signal, and the cell works, I think, on Rogers in Canada and AT&T in the US. And we've already taken a trip to the US with it, and we know it transfers right across the border. It just keeps working. So it goes to an app on your phone. and it itself is connecting to a cellular network, and then that's how you're able to access it. And as you can see here, I've got all of the stats. It's telling us 72 degrees Fahrenheit in here, and there's even a sensor to make sure this is on. So what happens is I get an email, I get an alert. If this thing loses connectivity, it senses that the temperature is out of the range that I preset, so it can send me a warning. I can check it anytime I want, but it will alert me. It's always being monitored. So if something goes wrong, I get an email that says, hey man, something's gone wrong. And we've got the temperature set to a cap lower. So like if we were out and needed 30 minutes to get back to the van, or 20 minutes or something, I've got it set to alarm us at a certain lower temperature so that we know we have time to get back. But as long as everything works fine, don't have to worry. But now I have a backup that tells me if the system's still working, the air conditioner and the battery. So feel pretty confident. And all of this was because I want to make sure that the dogs are safe if we have to leave them in this van. All of this stuff that has happened is because we're trying to keep them safe. If it was just Chris and I and no dogs, we wouldn't need any of this. None of this would have mattered. This is all, everything I've done is because of the dogs and our love of taking road trips. And we want to bring the dogs with us, but they have to be safe and we have to have a way to leave them. And that's what we're going to do now. So join us for the rest of our road trip. And we're going to go do some shopping here in Huntsville.